recent Shenmue 3 controversy is just another reason to add to the pile of reasons as to why I do not trust the Epic Games Store, and I have no plans of ever financially supporting them. For those who missed it, Shenmue 3 is the sequel to the first two games, two of the most expensive games ever made and two of the biggest financial flops ever made, that was announced in E3 of 2015. Well, I should say the Kickstarter campaign was announced in 2015, which was already kind of a shady start. You guys got yourself a spot on an E3 conference, but still need crowdfunding to make the game work, and the budget was only $2 million. Right off the bat, I was suspicious of the whole Shenmue 3 thing. Shenmue is an extremely recognizable title, the budget is only $2 million, and you got yourself a spot on a main E3 conference, but you still needed the game to be crowdfunded. I don't know, just the whole situation was weird. But 4 years later, at this year's E3, we finally got a trailer and a reveal and a release date for Shenmue 3. But what we also got was a complete bait and switch by the developers as to what platform the PC version will be launching on. During the campaign, it was explicitly stated multiple times that the game would be on Steam, and the people who backed the game financially during the campaign would be getting Steam keys. Well, during E3, it was revealed that the game would not be on Steam, and instead, it had been bought out to be an Epic Games Store exclusive. Why Epic keeps doing this, I have no idea. I honestly can't wrap my head around it anymore. You know that people hate you. You know that people hate you're doing this. You know that your public reputation is awful, and you have not changed at all. I can't get over it. But also, another aspect of this is the fact that it takes two in this situation. Shenmue 3 was explicitly crowdfunded to be on Steam for the PC version, and now, with no warning to backers, the platform has been swapped to a platform that many PC gamers do not want to support. And that is what's important here. If the game had been transferred over to, I don't know, let's say Battle.net or Origin, there would still be backlash, because this would still be you going against what you said in the crowdfunding campaign, but the backlash wouldn't be nearly as bad as having your game pulled from the obviously most fondly looked upon platform, being Steam, onto arguably the most hated piece of PC software of the 21st century. The developers were also very not helpful during this time, saying that they would not be offering refunds to people who backed the game on Steam and who did not want to support it on the Epic Store. But then they kind of flip-flopped on that and said they're looking into refunds. Then they said it wouldn't be on Steam, and then they said it would be on Steam later, and then they said it would be on Steam in a year, and just the whole situation is just extremely ugly and very, very damage control-y right now. This should be a very cut and dry problem. 81,000 people funded this game, and the teams lied about where the end product was going. Also, an interesting little tidbit of information, despite the fact that they raised $7.1 million in crowdfunding, they're still getting funding from Sony. So why was this crowdfunded in the first place? But anyways, like I said, this should be a pretty cut and dry thing. We paid for something, they lied about what we're getting, and now people are upset about it. Well, not everyone.
Okay, so Shenmue is not doing very well right now because the developers have decided that the game should be an Epic Games Store exclusive.
Yes, because Epic pulled an Epic, they rolled up to their front door with a big bag of cash and said, put the game on Epic Store. Give the middle finger to your backers for that crowdfunding project that honestly wasn't even necessary for this game's budget. Break Kickstarter's terms of service by going against what people paid for, and come onto the Epic Store as an exclusive. Because we're Epic, and we can't be fucked to make our service better. We just want to keep throwing money at third parties to bait people onto our service.
Which in its by itself is an act of aggression by a lot of people who are Steam users, right? So they are faithful Steam users.
Being faithful to Steam has nothing to do with the situation. While many people are faithful to Steam, it has nothing to do with the fact that this was a blatant bait and switch. Do not downplay this situation. It has nothing to do with Steam loyalism. It has everything to do with companies taking advantage of the consumers and taking advantage of IPs that people want.
And they don't want the game going anywhere else, especially the Game Store and being an exclusive game for that store. No, I'm not going to go against the circle jerk, which a lot of people are saying that a game should not be an Epic Games Store exclusive. That is just an act of aggression.
It's an act of aggression to say games shouldn't be Epic Store exclusive. This is the internet in 2019. You say something I don't like, it's an act of aggression.
So I'm going to say that, that they can do whatever they want.
No, they cannot do anything they want. And that's why people are upset. People paid for something, the developers took the money and said, okay, we will give you that something, and now they're giving you something else. So while I do believe developers and publishers should be able to do whatever they want with games, in this situation specifically, no. You can't do whatever you want, but you're trying to do it anyways, and that's the problem.
Because, yeah, I know, of course, it's a game has been backed by Kickstarter. People have put money into it. But come on, guys, it's not like... it's not like the game was coming for the PS4 and all of a sudden it's coming only for the Xbox. It's very different.
Kind of. And I see a lot of people making this argument that, oh, people shouldn't be so upset. Because it's not like you're switching consoles, you're just switching launchers on the same platform. It's still on PC, it's just a different launcher. But it's a deeper problem than that. And I think to simplify it that much is being dishonest, and it's not really being willing to look at the bigger picture. Epic Games is one of the most hated companies in gaming right now. Let's just say that Shenmue, the whole Steam bait and switch thing, let's just say that didn't happen. And this game was just announced that it was going to be Epic exclusive. And that's the end of the story. The story begins and ends with Shenmue 3 is going to be Epic exclusive. There would still be backlash here. People do not want games to be exclusive to the Epic Games Store because people don't want to support the Epic Games Store. They don't want Epic to set the precedent that behavior like this is profitable. And a lot of console players and a lot of people on the outside who don't really understand PC gaming have a difficult time really seeing this. Epic Games is trying to monopolize PC gaming. They're trying to take an open marketplace and fit it into this mold that they can control and profit off of. And they're doing fucking horrible at it. And like I said earlier in this video, I don't know why they haven't changed their tactics. I don't know how Epic is still just strolling along like nothing is wrong here. There would have been backlash regardless. Imagine a game that you really want, a game you really, really want is coming. But then, just mere months before the release, it's revealed that it's going to be exclusive to a company that it has these kinds of motives. And that in order to play this game, you will have to financially support a company like Epic. Some people have no problem with that. But a lot of people do. That's where the problem is. Even if you take the whole Steam aspect out of the equation, there is still a major problem with this.
You can just download the app for the Epic Games Store and download the game afterwards. Right? There's no problem with that. I don't know why people get so angry about this sort of thing.
Well, you're gonna find out pretty soon. Although, not to be that guy, but you have 14 dislikes and only 2 comments. So maybe you do hear what people are saying. And you just don't care. Because you also made another video. But we'll get to that one too.
It's just ridiculous. Look, Steam needed some sort of competition and they need it bad. And right now, they've got one star, which is actually some sort of competition with them because...
It's not competition if it's an exclusive. Stop. Just stop. This needs to stop. This whole idea that Epic is creating competition, it needs to stop. It would be competition if the game's launched on Epic and Steam at the same time. But that's not what Epic wants, because Epic knows that if that was the situation, they would get fucking annihilated by the sales numbers from Steam. So what do? They make it an exclusive. Game exclusives are a sign that you know your system cannot survive on its own merits. That goes for launchers, that goes for digital stores, that goes for consoles. Exclusives are a sign that you have no confidence in your actual products, and you have to hold games hostage in order to bait people to your side. This is not competition. The same way that God of War is not in competition with the Xbox, or Arma is not in competition with the PS4. It's not competition if it's exclusive to only one platform.
Let's be honest, the Ubisoft Store and the Orange Stores aren't competition. So yeah, I'm fully okay with this, and I'll probably play this game on the PC, and I'll download the Epic Games Store because I don't mind it.
And it's people like you that are going to allow Epic to continue doing stuff like this.
A lot of people are just making a fuss about this when when really there is nothing to be worried about. The game will still become. The game might not be as good as some people are making it out to be, but the game is coming for the PC. It's much better than, for example, Red Dead Redemption 2, which is coming when for the PC. We don't know if it's coming for the PC because it's not confirmed yet. Although because of GTA 5 and a statement by the CEO of Rocksteady that the game will most likely be coming for the PC, but
Did you just say Rocksteady made Red Dead 2? Also, Red Dead 2 is all but confirmed to come to the PC. Even Take-Two Interactive has admitted there's no downside to doing so. It's coming to the PC. Now, when it's coming, where it's coming, we don't know that yet, but it is coming to the PC. There have been some rumors of it being an Epic Store exclusive when it does inevitably come to PC, and I cannot imagine the shitstorm that'll happen then.
PC gamers have to wait a lot more for the game, which is not a good thing. Now, Shenmue is coming for the PC, and coming for the PC does not mean that it has to come for Steam. You can just download another app, another launcher, and play the game that way.
Completely irrelevant to the conversation. This conversation is about Epic, and why people do not want to support this game if it's on Epic compared to Steam. Why are we even bringing Red Dead 2 into the conversation?
Seriously, some people just need to stop making fun of this and other things and just play the game. Really, just download the.
Stop making a fuss about it. Coming from the guy who made 2 videos about the people making a fuss about it. But we'll get into the second one a little later. Don't worry.
The app, and after you're done playing the game, delete the app itself.
Or, alternative plan, people could play the game on the store where they literally already paid for it.
Yeah, and I see this sort of thing just becoming more and more common as time goes by.
What, people completely missing the point? The rest of the video, he literally just talks about Keanu Reeves in the presentation. So let's move on to the second video he made about people who don't want to buy Shenmue on the Epic Store. This one doesn't even have any likes. We went from 1 like to 0 likes. Isn't that fun?
So it seems that some people who are overreacting about this have asked the Shenmue 3 developers to give them refunds.
Okay, so how is this an overreaction? Let's just focus in on this for a second. You spend money on a product. The developers change the product without telling anyone until it's too late. Now, the people who already paid are asking for refunds. How is this an overreaction?
Because they think that they're not going to be able to play the game if it's not on Steam.
No, that's not what they're thinking. They don't think they're not able to play the game. They think they don't want to support the game. They don't want to support these kinds of practices. Also, remember when Epic literally said after Metro Exodus they weren't going to do this anymore?
As if saying is another platform, right? The platform is PC. If you want to play the game, just go and get it from the Epic Game Store.
People love the PC because it's an open marketplace, and that is why people don't want to support the Epic Game Store, because Epic is trying to make this not an open marketplace. The fact that you're digging far enough into the issue to find articles about your side, but you're just completely missing the other side is astounding. You have some of the biggest blinders I've ever seen.
I know some people have some questions about the app, right? The app from Game Store, if it's very reliable, if it's secure, all of those things. Those things. But of course, I think that the biggest problem here is that some people are thinking that just because it's not on Steam means that it will suck.
No, that's not what they're saying. Oh my god. How about this? Let me give you an example. You buy a membership at the gym. There's a gym down the street from your house. You buy a membership there. You've been working out at the gym. You've been supporting the gym. They're a good gym. They're a nice gym. You work out. You get all the machines. It's a nice gym. But then, the gym sends you an email saying, hey, you still have your membership. However, this gym branch is closing. But you still have your membership at this other gym on the other side of town that is a huge inconvenience to get to, and also the workers there are assholes. To which you say, well, I don't want to have this membership anymore. I don't appreciate you moving my membership to another gym without telling me, and I don't want to support the kinds of practices going on here. I don't want to support the behavior of the employees. I would like to cancel my membership. To which the gym says, no, your money is ours now, despite the fact that you were paying for something we're no longer supplying to you. You can't have your money back. The fact that they already denied refunds flat out shows their true colors. They don't give a fuck about you. These developers do not give a fuck about the consumers. And they do not give a fuck about any kind of integrity. It doesn't matter if they eventually issue refunds. It doesn't matter if the game eventually comes to Steam. They do not care. All of what you're seeing from them now is damage control. They have already shown their true colors. They broke the agreement of the Kickstarter campaign. A Kickstarter campaign that arguably was not even necessary. They denied refunds to people who backed the game and the people they blatantly lied to. And now they keep changing the story. They just keep flip-flopping the story now. They keep flip-flopping the plan because they're so desperate to damage control and keep people from pulling away from them. Well, congratulations, Deep Silver. Shenmue is about to be the most financially unsuccessful trilogy in gaming history.
I think the game will be great. It'll play great regardless. Yep. All right. Here's one thing I've been thinking about as well. If you want to play the game without the problem about it being on Epic Game Store, then download the Epic Game Store app, download the game, and then just pirate the game. I'm pretty sure there will be many cracks after the game is launched.
Let's take a second to just laugh at the irony here of a man who keeps saying that we're overreacting by not wanting to support the Epic Game Store, but also made 2 videos completely missing the point.
I'm pretty sure that many groups out there will be very interested in cracking this game because there is a big overreaction about it being an Epic Store exclusive.
And in these 2 videos you made, talking about how people are overreacting, you made no effort to see the other side of the story.
So you could just download the game, support the developers, and still play the game.
Yeah, people don't want to support the developers. That's the problem. People did want to support the developers, but then the developers broke our trust. And now they don't want to support them anymore, but the developers are still trying to lock people's money down, which is arguably illegal and is absolutely grounds for a class action lawsuit. I would not be surprised if Deep Silver gets taken to court.
Without the problem about it being an Epic Store exclusive. And the best thing that you actually have from that is that you won't even have to launch the Epic Game Store app again. You can play the game without launching the Epic Game Store app.
His video just gets repetitious at this point, and he's just we're not going to find any common ground with this guy. So I will just issue my final thoughts here. Whether or not you support the Epic Game Store, whether or not you care about their practices, all of that should be irrelevant to the situation. Because what's happening here is a complete breach of the public's trust. The game was funded for one thing, then those funds were used for a different thing. And when the people who gave the funds tried to get their money back because they were being taken advantage of, they were denied. And like I said, it is arguably illegal, and it is absolutely grounds for a lawsuit. I hope Deep Silver gets taken to court over this, because this not only devalues Kickstarter and crowdfunded games as a whole, but it makes the entire industry even less trustworthy. It makes Epic Games look less trustworthy, it makes Deep Silver look less trustworthy, and like I said, it's about to make Shenmue the biggest video game trilogy flop ever. This kind of behavior is unacceptable from a professional company. Multiple professional companies. You had the developers, you had the publishers, you had Epic in this situation, you had Sony in this situation. This is just a disaster. And it absolutely should not be downplayed like this. Remember back when Rise of the Tomb Raider was announced to be an Xbox exclusive after being a multi-plat? Or remember when Bayonetta 2 was announced to be a Wii U exclusive after being a multi-plat? Well, this situation is arguably even worse than those two, because at least those 2 games didn't actually say they were going to be multi-plat first. This would be like if Rise of the Tomb Raider was announced for PS4, but then was Xbox exclusive. Or if Bayonetta 2 was announced for the Xbox and the PlayStation, but then became a Wii U exclusive. Behavior like this is unacceptable, especially for crowdfunded games. All of the companies involved here need to be held accountable, and all of the people who requested refunds should be getting their money back immediately. This is unacceptable. Sorry if this video wasn't as funny as other ones, but that's what happens when the gaming industry sucks.